Hello and welcome to the Heretical Gnostic channel. In this channel, I share with you my interpretation of the words of Jesus the Christ as coming from early Christian apocrypha and Gnostic texts. I share this word with those who belong to the Christ and who are His, so that they may see and hear it and return home. This information is free, but if you do find it helpful, please make a donation to me. I am living in a country where the cost of living is very high and I am making below minimum wage in this country. I have linked the way to donate in the video description field. If you do spread this video and the information contained within, please always link it back here so that truth seekers may find the whole context of the information and not a portion taken out of context. It is more beneficial that way. In this video, I discuss one aspect of who we are and why we are trapped here in the soul trap. If you have seen the video on the soul trap, you will know that my understanding of the soul trap is broader in definition than that of other people. And to me, the soul trap is the entire realm of the Gnostic demiurge, also known as the chief Archon or the chief ruler. This includes all dimensions and realms within his realm, including what we think of as heavens, hells, the underworld, the realms of the divinities or deities or gods, the realms of the angels, the realms of the demons, the realms of the ghosts, and of course, the physical realm. As long as you are in a dimension of some sort, you are still within the realm of the chief ruler, no matter how elevated or how high frequency it seems. The disciples of Jesus the Christ understood that they were being detained by the rulers, in other words, the Archons. They were prevented from leaving the realm of the rulers, and the Christ had come to pay the ransom for the return of the people who were His. What does that mean? It means that there is a certain type of human being who belongs to the Christ, and whatever belongs to the Christ also belongs to the Father, the one who sent the Christ to this realm. In the book of John, we find Christ Jesus saying that whatever is His is the Father's, and whatever is the Father's is also His. These are the people whom the rulers are trying to detain, and it is for the very reason that these people are food for them. In many videos on YouTube, many teachers talk about how human beings are food for certain entities. The most common entity being described is some form of higher level reptilian being, in addition to things like demons, spirits, and shadow beings who feed on the negative energies and emotions generated by human beings when they are alive on Earth. Many also cite Robert Monroe and the infamous loosh, which seems to be a form of energy that these entities can harvest and distribute to other parts of the universe. This energy that is generated by humans called loosh is apparently very valuable and is most efficiently generated by humans living on Earth. Now, much of these things are true. There are negative entities who feed on negative energy. And Robert Monroe did stumble upon something of truth with the discovery of loosh. But both of these do not tell the whole picture about how we are food for the rulers. The whole picture is that we are food for the entire realm of the chief Archon. The chief ruler bonded with matter to create this realm. Matter here does not refer to physical matter. It refers to non-physical matter. When Christ speaks of materialism in any way, he is referring to this matter, of which physical matter is the lowest form. The highest form of matter is the matter which the Archons themselves are made of, which has almost no form and is very fine. This matter is even higher in frequency and purity than the matter which our souls are made of. Everything else is varying degrees of matter from finer to more dense, with physical matter being the densest and lowest form of it. Even demons have more refined matter than us. That is why they can shapeshift and travel between dimensions while we cannot. To the Christ, who comes from the kingdom of the Father, the pleroma, the hypercosmos, where there is no matter of any sort and no form of any type, any form of matter is anathema. It is against the natural order of existence of the Father For the realm of the Father is pure light, which anything made of matter cannot see. The light which we see in this realm of the chief Archon is not the true light of the Father, not the true light of the kingdom of heaven. It is a light which has been created by the mixing of the true light of the Father with matter, and it emanates from matter. That is also why the rulers, despite being made of the finest and most highest type of matter, cannot see the Father and cannot see the kingdom of light. Their faculties of perception are unable to see it. That is why Christ also said, "No generation in these realms have seen or known the Father, nor seen or known the Son," simply because the faculties of bodies of matter are unable to perceive the light of the pleroma, the hypercosmos, the natural state of existence for the beings of the pleroma, the kingdom of the Father. Let's come back to why we human beings are food, for the rulers and for the whole realm of the chief ruler. In the Apocryphon of John, the author describes a scenario where Yaldabaoth, the chief Archon, is tricked into blowing the power that he has taken or stolen from his mother, Sophia, into the bodies of matter that he and his powers have created. And they have created this body of matter in order that this creature would be of light and service to them. The Archons are incomplete beings, being begotten only from a female without the consent of her male consort, and this being that they saw, they hoped would provide the means to make them complete. The chief ruler himself is immortal, as he has the power of the sustaining life essence from his mother within him. His powers, his authorities, the other Archons, are not immortal, for it is written in Gnostic texts that he did not share that power with them, only his power of fire, not his power that came from the light, that means from his mother Sophia. Here, we should understand this power of life as life force, life essence, or sustaining essence. The power that the chief ruler took from his mother Sophia is this power of life. This was known by the ancients as the female principle of the Father, sometimes called the mother, while the male principle of the Father is known as thinking, logic, rationality, contemplation, or reflecting. The chief ruler had blown the power of life that he had taken from his mother Sophia into the bodies of matter that he and his powers had created, and this power was now in those bodies of matter. This is what we normally term the soul body, or in short, the soul. Now, to be very precise, there are two components here that we need to be very clear about. First, the power of life that comes through the chief ruler from his mother, Sophia of the Pleroma. And two, the body of matter that was created by the Archons, modeled after the image of the pleromic being, the man that they saw in the waters, which they felt would give them life essence. This body, the soul body, which many people gush about in today's age, is nothing more than the components of the Archons' bodies of matter. It is one step below in terms of frequency, compared to the matter which the Archons themselves are made of. It is a prison, and it was not created by the Father. It is made of the matter of the realm of the chief ruler, and as such, it is worthless to the Father and the kingdom of heaven. And it is the first prison in which the things that belong to the Father are sealed in. And this thing that belongs to the Father is the power of life that came from Sophia of the Pleroma, that her son, the chief ruler, took from her, and then which he blew into material bodies, or bodies of matter, which was created by him and his powers, or his rulers. This power of life is known as soul, sometimes as psyche, and this is where the use of the term psychical comes from in the old Gnostic texts. This refers to the fragments of Sophia's power that have become trapped within the bodies of matter, which became alive through that very power of life, and which we now call souls. So the modern day understanding of the term soul is wrong. When we talk about ourselves as souls, this creates the wrong impression that there is a type of being or entity known as a soul. We must understand with discernment that the power of life, which is from the Father and the kingdom of heaven, is what makes the body of matter alive. Otherwise, it will not be even able to stand. This power of life has no form, no body, nor any specific qualities. It is life that gives life to anything it is added or given unto. This is the first type of sheep that Jesus the Christ came to redeem and repurchase from the Archons, the psychical sheep. This is known sometimes as the virgins, as the virgin soul, sometimes as the whore, sometimes as the female, and sometimes as the bride, sometimes also as the woman. All of these terms in the Gnostic texts refer to the power of life that was from Sophia, a female from a female, without the maleness that would have come from the male consort or male component had Sophia consulted her male consort, which it is clearly stated in many Gnostic texts she did not do so. Hence, this race of beings who belong to the Father are purely female. They belong to the Father because the power which had come through Sophia is the power of life from the Father. In order to return to the pleroma, they must be married or made male or given maleness or made complete by being combined with maleness. Hence, that is why there are parables about virgins waiting for their bridegrooms and many sayings of Jesus where he would talk about the bride and the bridegroom and the sacrament of marriage. These have never described the sacrament of marriage on physical earth. This also explains Logion 114 in the Gospel of Thomas, where Jesus talks about Mary. It is not referring to the gender of Mary being a woman, being a female. It is instead referring to the state of Mary's soul, which is the female quality of the Father and must be made male by marrying the male quality of the Father, or combined with the male quality of the Father, such that it is whole and complete, and then can it enter the kingdom of heaven. When they are made complete by the addition of the male quality of the Father, the female quality of the Father will become complete, and then that combination will be more powerful than the rulers, and then we all can return to the realm of the Father, the kingdom of heaven. This is why the rulers want to keep us within the realm of the chief ruler. The chief ruler has lost his life-sustaining essence, and it is now distributed amongst the souls that he and his rulers have created. And without this power of life, they are not immortal. Without this power, they cannot live forever. In other words, ever since he blew the power into the souls, eventually the chief ruler and his archons will die. It will take a long time, for they are huge entities whose lifespans run into what is inconceivable for us as humans to understand, but they themselves know that they are dying. And if they do not recover this power of life, they are doomed. You may ask, why do they not take the power of life out of the soul tulpa which they have created? From here on, I will call the soul tulpa, to refer to the prison that traps the power of life inside it, that many call the soul or soul body, so that we can understand that the soul too is a prison and not something that is wonderful and good. I shall try and use an analogy to explain it. It is not perfect, but will give you an idea of what it is like. When you blow air into a balloon, can you retrieve the air that you blew out of your lungs back from the balloon back into yourself? Even if you deflated or destroyed the balloon, it's very difficult. The moment the balloon is deflated or pricked, the air rushes out and returns to the atmosphere before you can even breathe it in. Now, we can't see the air that rushes out of the balloon. So too, the Archons cannot see the power of life, for it is invisible to them. They cannot capture it, for they cannot see it at all. They do not have the technology or power to recapture the invisible power of the life of the Father, even if they were to break its container, which is the soul tulpa. That is why they have not tried to retrieve it through the breaking of the soul tulpa. They cannot retrieve it that way. Now, this is the reason why there's information about the feeding of energies, or lush, or love as the most important energy. These Archons need to eat something to continue to survive. The big picture idea is that the Archons and all of their derivatives are lacking the life-sustaining essence of the Father and are no longer immortal and will die eventually. And because they cannot retrieve the power of life from the souls with their own abilities, they must access the power of life somehow through the souls, and that is by using us as food. The whole soul trap, and therefore the whole reincarnation cycle, is based on this need for the life-sustaining essence. By trapping the souls within the realm of the chief ruler, otherwise known as the egg dimension, the Archons hope to somehow retrieve the power that the chief ruler blew out. As to how humans are producing the energies for the Archons so that they can consume it as food, that is more complicated to explain. But it is important to understand that because our souls in the soul tulpas carry the power of life of the Father, we are precious batteries for the Archons, and we literally provide life-sustaining essence for the whole realm of the chief ruler. Whatever we produce is distributed across the realm of the chief ruler in order to feed all of the dimensions and realms that exist within his egg. According to Robert Munro's book Far Journeys, the physical planet Earth is the greatest and most efficient producer of lush, and in the book, when Robert has an out-of-body journey, he is given the opportunity to see a manifestation of the chief ruler in a golden, humanoid form, collecting and redistributing the lush across the multi-dimensions of the realm of the chief ruler. This is also the reason for the rapture, which will happen soon. How soon, I cannot say, but we are definitely leading up to that event. What is the rapture? It is the event described in the book of Revelations as the coming of the New Jerusalem, and also in the book of Matthew as the catastrophes that befall humanity at the end of days. Many New Age books also reference this event as Earth's Ascension, or the Ascension of humanity, or the New Golden Age, or the graduation of humanity into the next phase of being. More recently, this event has been termed moving into the fifth dimension. In various New Age books, the channeled entities speak of a time when humanity will graduate from this dimension, called the third, and into a higher dimension with a higher level of consciousness. In order to graduate or ascend, humanity must learn lessons. Usually, these lessons revolve around themes of service, love, oneness, and light. The short explanation is that the Archons are separating the wheat and the chaff. The Archons of the positive natures are claiming the human people who gravitate to the lessons with themes of love, service, oneness, and who are tired of the heavy density and negativity of the third dimension, while the shaft, which are the more materialistic people, the more skeptical people, the more self-centered people, and who come from a place of self-benefit over benefit for others, these will be given to the Archons of the mixed or negative natures. This is what the rapture or ascension is for. It is a separation of the humans into what kinds are best suited to produce what types of energetic food in order to sustain what types of Archons. In the New Age books, the channel entities are quoted as saying that this is an unprecedented event that has never been seen before in this universe. Either way, the Archons are claiming the humans which best suit their diet and keeping them close to themselves to continue living off the life-sustaining essence that is present in every soul, that is in every human since we are alive. I hope that those with ears to hear will hear. Bless those who are His. May you hearken to His words and return to Him swiftly and without delay.